Hello everybody, welcome to Webinar Wednesday. This is a special edition of Webinar Wednesday, as this is a re-recording of a webinar from December 13th, 2017, where the webinar was great, but my audio recording had a problem. So this is a re-recording, and let's go ahead and get started. So, the topic is Beat the Competition with Inbound Marketing, a Practical Example. My name is Dr. David Wank, and for those of you who don't know me, I am a practicing general dentist in New York City, and I am the president of Shortlist Design, which is an internet marketing company for dentists and physicians. Obviously, this was recorded live, but certainly if you have questions, please do get in touch with me. My email is there, as is the website address, where we have a contact form, and certainly you can always give me a call or text me. Obviously, if you have questions, just ask. Certainly, we'll do that in the way we talked about before, since you can't raise your hand on a recording. In terms of taking notes, you can certainly take notes now that you can pause and fast forward and do what you'd like, but obviously if you want to copy the slides, please just let me know. So, let's take a minute to talk about the web design workbook for dentists. I was not selling books that night, and I'm not selling them now, but the workflow that I go through tonight is going to be about, I defined it originally in the web design workbook for dentists. That's why I have this slide here. And the book is a non-technical guide for dentists and team members. It is not a do-it-yourself book. If you would like to go ahead and build your own website, I think that's a fabulous endeavor. But you know what? I also don't want to cast my own RPD frameworks. Certainly I could, I just don't want to. And for me, that's not profitable or cost effective or an enjoyable use of my time. But the book is what you need to know before you invest in a website or an SEO campaign, et cetera, et cetera. It's all in there for you. And what's great about that is my team and I were redoing the book. And the book is going to be available for free. So probably about mid-2018, we're going to release the book for free. So what you can do is sign up to download the introduction, read that for free, and you can be notified when the free version is available. All you got to do is head to this link, and you'll be able to sign up for that. So the reason I brought up the book is because I want to talk about where we are in the workflow. Now, obviously, we've seen this workflow many, many times, and we'll probably attach an entire podcast to this workflow. I do have podcast episodes for phase 1, 2, and 3. So we'll probably go ahead and link to those at some point so you can see them. But what I want to talk about here is where are we talking about inbound marketing? Inbound marketing lives in phase 2 and it lives in phase 3. Phase 2, we're going to drive traffic because that's what we need for inbound marketing is traffic. And phase 3 is actually getting these new patients. So that's drive traffic and get the patients. All right, so let's talk about inbound marketing channels. We discussed that in the last webinar, in November's webinar, which is available online if you'd like to see it. It's a helpful introduction to all of this, but the goal here, you can see your website is in the middle. And obviously the goal of all of these channels, organic SEO, content, that's our content icon, pay-per-click, AdWords, social, the goal of all of those is to drive traffic to your website, period. And obviously once you have traffic on your website, we want to get new leads. And new leads obviously turn into new patients. That is the big picture, and that is why we're here talking about this. That's why that matters. So let's talk for a minute about LEADPAGES and what tonight's workflow is going to be. LEADPAGES is the software that we're going to use. So here's LEADPAGES. There are many programs on the web that will allow you to build landing pages and do things to help you generate leads. I use LEADPAGES because I love it, and it's something I've worked with. I've tried a lot of other programs. I enjoy it. It's what we use for our treatment mail lead generation program and our treatment content program, and it's fantastic and easy to use. I have I don't have an affiliate relationship with them. I recommend them, and I'm showing you them tonight because it is what I use. So there we go. That's the rationale. There are other products that can do it. This is what I'm familiar with, and this is what I like to use. So now let's talk about the workflow. So the big picture is this. Someone comes to your website and clicks a link on a web page, and that link sends them to a landing page, and that's a page we'll create tonight. So for example, they go to your website and they go to your teeth whitening section, and it says, hey, click here to find out about our whitening special. And they click, and there's a landing page that gets them to sign up for the whitening special. So 1, they click a link on a web page, sends them to a landing page. 2, they're then prompted to enter their contact information and receive a reward in return, which might be a download. In this case, we're going to do a coupon code for a service, say whitening or free whitening or $100 off whitening. This is what's called a lead magnet, And what it is it's called a lead magnet, is because we're using a magnet to attract leads. We're giving them a reward for their contact information. The goal here is their contact information. That is what we want. So, and anytime we do any of these types of things to generate leads, you want emails. That's key. And of course, once they submit their email address, they're sent to a thank you page, which displays the coupon code. This is about as simple workflow as you can have. They visit a webpage and click a link, they enter their information, they get their reward, they get their coupon. And there are other more complex workflows that we do in our lead generation programs, but this is the most basic, and it's very easy for you to put into play, which is why we are going over it tonight. So looking at this again, you can see the website visitor clicks a link, they wind up on a landing page with a coupon offer, they submit their email address, and they get a thank you page with a coupon code. Very straightforward. So with that information in mind, let us now switch from PowerPoint and let's head to the web. I said PowerPoint, I actually meant Keynote, though it doesn't matter. But people often ask me, they say, those slides are great, we like your slides, your transitions, whatever it is, and it's Keynote for the Mac. So here is LeadPages, and you can see leadpages.net, and there's all sorts of templates you can use, and that's probably the easiest way to go ahead and to build a landing page is by using one of their templates. So this is what LeadPages looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into my account. So I'm going to show you, we're going to set up our own lead page, and then we're going to pick a template and we're going to put it together. So here's the first screen that you see when you get to LeadPages. They have lead pages, they have lead boxes, and all sorts of other things. The lead box that you see, a lead box is a pop-up. We use a lot of that for our on-page stuff, for treatment mail. So when visits like the implant page or the Invisalign page, and a pop-up comes up, we call it a modal pop-up, but that's a lead box. When we're doing the Facebook version of it, we're usually driving people to a lead page. So a lead page is just lead page's word for landing pages, and a lead box is lead page's word for pop-up boxes. The concepts are basically the same, but a lead page is much easier to implement and if you're just starting, so that's why we're doing a lead page tonight. So we're going to go ahead and create a new lead page. And when you do that, you get a list of templates, which is fantastic. You can always build your own, but it's always nice to have a list. So let's scroll down here, and I found one that I like for this. So we're going to click Use Template, and it's going to load the template up for us. And let's name our page. We'll call it our whitening landing page 2017 and start building. So now it's going to load an interface which is actually really easy to use. And all of this can be edited. We're going to keep it simple tonight, but let's go ahead and get started editing this. I picked this background because it looks like vacation to me. You can change any background you want, but let's add some text about whitening. That's a nice headline, and then let's add some subtext. And we're going to change the text here. We're not giving a report, we're giving a coupon. So let's call it Get Your Coupon. So now let's go ahead and add some more features here, like a form. I'll make it a little bit easier. So in this model, all we have to do is drag and drop. So we're going to drag and drop this form onto the page, and that's the form that people are going to use to sign up. So I want them to know, give them instructions, they have to enter the email address, but let's change our call to action, the button text, to Get Your Coupon. We don't want to have two buttons, obviously. That will confuse people. Now, what we can do here that's nice is that we can tell the form, what are you going to do when someone clicks it, and clicks the button and enters their information. And in this case, we just have it to set up to notify me. And you just put your email. I put mine, you put yours. That's what you do there. And we're just going to fix the spacing here a little bit. And fix up the text just a hair. Right, because we want to specify what we're actually giving them. And there we go. So now we've given them instructions. Enter your email below to get your free coupon. They enter their email. They click the coupon. And here we go about adding some copyright information, just so we have it. Great. So they'll click Get Your Coupon, and then they'll be able to get the coupon. So when we click on that form area, we have the Notify Me button. Now you can edit integration, such as if you use a CRM, relations management system, But here, we're going to have their email, and we are going to send them to the default LeadPages thank you page, which at this point we don't want to do. We're going to make our own landing page that has the coupon. But let's go ahead and take a look at that workflow now. So we have our landing page. Our landing page is going to announce, again, like we see here, what we're going to do, what the reward is going to be, and when the clicks get their coupon, something has to happen. So that is what we're going to set up next. We could certainly send them to the default landing page, which says, thank you so much for inputting your information, but we want to give them something. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to bring that up now. So you can see I have our whitening landing page here. And what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and I want to create another landing page. So let's create a new lead page, which again is just a word for a landing page. It's their vocabulary word. And what I want to do is I want to use a thank you page. There's all sorts of templates. They happen to have a thank you one, which is kind of cool, to show you pages that are thank you pages. You can certainly do whatever you'd like. Here's one that I found before that I like because it looks like very similar to our other one. It keeps it consistent. And you can change it to whatever you'd like. This is an approach I like. And let's just label it something that we can remember. And I'm going to make that _a.ty means for me is thank you. Whitening 2017. And the _a is so I see it at the top. I'm just playing with the alphabetizing. So here we go. So here's the landing page. You can certainly add your own logo there. You would click that button to upload your logo. You can resize your logo to put it there. Let's just get rid of it to keep the symbol. And that's the name of our page. We're making sure we're in the right place. And so here's your coupon for your free whitening coupon. Well, your free tooth whitening, not a coupon for a coupon. And whiten 2017. So let's give them some instructions now. And that's fine. Expires, that's nice. Expires, whenever you want. That's great. Let's give them some better instructions. Use this coupon code for your free tooth whitening. This way, when they go to your website and they call you, they say, hi, I want the free whitening. What free whitening? Oh, the Whiten 2017? Oh, okay. And remember, when you do this, one of the huge keys here is that you have to tell your staff to expect this call. So if somebody calls and says, hi, I have the tooth whitening coupon code, and your staff says, I don't know what you're talking about, it's bad news. So make sure your staff or whoever answers the phone knows that you've got a whitening coupon out there. So we did that, and then what we're going to do here is, my goal here is I want them to contact your office to set up the appointment. So let's make this button link to your contact page or your appointment page. So contact us. And this way they have somewhere to go. They'll contact you, and we're going to click that link button. We're not going to use a lead box that's attached. We're going to an external URL, which is going to be your website. So whatever it happens to be, www.mysite.com/contact, whatever it is. I use the pound there just because that's an anchor, but don't worry about that. But you put the actual, your contact page. There you go. Contact us, whatever it is. So this way they can immediately click, get to your contact page. You'll have a phone number there and whatever information they need. So use this coupon code when you call. They get it. And there we go. And if you wanted to use the social icons, you do have to populate them, though. Those aren't automatically populated. So you can delete those if you don't use them, or add your Facebook page link. That's one way to do that. All right, so now we see that we have a nice looking contact page. Thank you page. That when we click the contact us button, it's going to go to your website. Or the website that we put in. And it looks good on your smartphone, looks good on a tablet. And then we'll go back and you'll see again it looks good on a desktop. So this is really good and really convenient. Let's exit our preview, publish it, and let's remember where the link that we're using. We don't really have to. So there's the link for the page. But let's go ahead now and we don't have to remember that because I'm going to show you why. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to look at our two pages that we made now, this one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put them together right now. So you can see here now I have our whitening landing page on the bottom and I have our thank you page on the top. You can create Facebook ads based on this. It's very new from them, so we're skipping that for now. At some point, we might go over that. So let's go back to our original page, because all we have to do now is tie in our landing page. Excuse me, our thank you page. So there's exactly what we had. We have our page. We're going to click Get Your Coupon, right? Because that's how we're going to work on our form. We can preview the page and do it the same thing. You'll see that looks really nice. And obviously it's going to work on smartphone, mobile, and tablet. And if I entered an email that doesn't work, it's going to yell at you, please enter your email. So it already has validation, which is really great. So let's exit the preview. And all we have to do now is tell this form where to go when someone submits it. What's our thank you page going to be? So we published our landing page. And that's the link you have to use. So if you wanted to, you could link that from Facebook. You could certainly link it from your website, however you'd like to do it. But let's go ahead now. So we have our integration. Our field is only the email, so we'll skip that. And now let's go to, we want to go to a different lead page. And there it is. I skipped a step here to not show you all the other lead pages that I have, but I clicked change and it gave me a list of the ones that I have, and I clicked thank you whitening. So now we have that. We're going to go ahead and it's all connected. We're going to go ahead now and we're going to preview it. Yes, we are. We're going to preview that thank you page, to make sure it is what it is. And it is. Obviously, we would fix this because this is a year late. Click Contact Us, and it would go to mysite.com, whatever it is. So I think, and then we stop that. But I pushed the stop button. And you can certainly, if you have a HIPAA policy, which you should on your website, or a privacy policy, you can certainly link to that. So now that's all set. So I believe the only thing left to do now is for us to test this out. Now, I believe what I did here is I decided that I wanted to add another section. So I wanted to add a section. So what I did is I clicked Add a Section, and I dragged in some text. And you can see as you drag it in there, it puts it moves the bar where you want it to go, and I put HIPAA notice. And obviously, you'll put your own HIPAA notice there. Blah, 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 whatever it is. So there's your HIPAA notice that you could put in there. But it's very easy. If you look on the left, you can drag and drop basically anything you need, which is great. Or privacy notice, again, whatever you want it to be. Great. So don't forget to push update when you do those. Updates the page. And now the page is live. So let's go ahead. Now we're going to go ahead and test this out. So we have our whitening landing page, and then info@treatmentmail.com, which is our program, but we're doing that email. You click it. It says thank you, and there we go. Use the coupon code to call our office. In the meantime, same landing page, it worked. And you would obviously be notified through email that someone signed up for your landing page. Someone opted in. And if you wanted to publish it yourself, separately, obviously you want to look up the link again. Very easy to do. What you do is you come here to the top where it says, under update, you click the down arrow here on the right, and you get to publish options. And then when you click on publish options, it gives you, obviously, some publishing options, which include, there it is. So you can certainly, copy and paste that and insert it anywhere you want, because that's our landing page and that's the URL. You could also make it so it's custom for you. I don't see the need to pay extra money for that. I mean, that's not, you can also make it into a Facebook ad. I'm not in love with that process with them yet. They're still refining that. They basically launched that just a short while ago. So I don't really think that's prime time yet. I've looked at it. Something else you can do under other publishing options, you can integrate it to a WordPress website. I don't like doing that because I just don't like to, I just think it's weird having a page that doesn't look like your website in there. I think it's totally fine now from a user interface, from a user experience perspective, to go ahead and have an external landing page. I think that's fine. And you can publish to another server. You could put the code in. You don't really need to do that often. In fact, I've never had to do that. All right, so now that we know that it works, let's jump back to the keynote and wrap up. Okay, so now we're back into our keynote. What I want to show you here is that is a fantastic way for you to do that. It's fun to do. It's relatively easy to do, especially when you've done a ton of them. However, Not everybody likes doing their own landing pages on their own, lead generation. So we have some turnkey solutions that I'd like to share with you. These are all in our, they're pilot programs. We've been doing them about 6 months now. We are having some success, and I would like to show you some of the turnkey solutions that we have. So, our first program is treatment content. So, content, obviously, no matter what you do, content is still king. And for our clients who have, built a website to Google standards, who've done search engine optimization like they're supposed to, who've done everything they're supposed to do, but in an area with 20 other dentists, the next thing that most people will tell you, SEO professionals, including me and others, will tell you, content is the next thing. You can, A, look at all the keywords that exist for, in your area, and then retrofit and say, there are searches for dentures, dentures, implants, and Invisalign. Wouldn't that be great? And then write content based on that. But that costs time and money because someone has to do the keyword research, or you have to do it. If you go to our January Webinar Wednesday recording on the website under webinars, the previous recordings, you can watch that one, how to look at your own keyword, look at your own search volumes for keywords. But our way is simpler. What we do is I also want to know not only what are people searching for, but what is your demographic interested in specifically. And so what we do is we write 6 pages. We write 12 articles over the course of 6 months. And obviously we talk to you about what services you're doing, but we want to look at the services that you like to do, that you're trying to promote, and that obviously make the most profit for you. So we'll do 2 about implants, 2 about Invisalign, 2 about dentures, 2 about endo, whitening, whatever it is. And then the idea is we write them on your website and on social media, and so we cross-post them. And at the end of the 6 months, we can look and see, what subjects are most popular through analytics and through social media. And that's really giving you a good sense of what people want. And let's continue and do, 12 more articles. It's 2 per month. And they're about 250 words each, 2 to 3, and 3 to 4 paragraphs. It's hard to, you don't want to go longer than that. So, or 200 to 250. You don't really want to go longer because you do want content for people in SEO, but you also people don't want to sit there for 3 hours and read a book about whatever it is. And the beauty of this is that at the end of the day, after the 6 months are done, or even during, you actually have information and you have yourself 12 new articles. And I think that's great because I'd much rather have 12 original articles, than have 6 months of reports that are telling me that my keywords are up and down and that's it. Because that to me is not as actionable as, boom, I have content that will go with me throughout the life of the website and the life of my practice. And obviously, if and when you redesign, you keep that content and that content stays with you. So the other programs that we have are Treatment Mail. Treatment Mail is our lead generation program, and that's designed to educate patients about a specific service and encourage them to become patients. So part of this, there's a book called The Challenge for Sale. It's a great book. And basically what that book explains is that as a salesperson, whether I'm selling dentistry or any product, that you're not just saying, hi, I'm a salesperson, I'm going to sell you a crown. You are a trusted advisor. And as a trusted advisor, what you're doing is you're sharing information with people. So your favorite vendors, let's say you're, whatever it is, your handpiece vendor is not just going to say, hopefully, here's a handpiece. Your handpiece vendor is going to catch up with you every, once a year, once every 6 months and say, by the way, there are reports of people having some real hearing problems with these handpieces. Here's a handpiece that is an electric handpiece, or here's one that kind of deadens the noise. So that person so they're not saying, hey, go ahead and buy that handpiece today, but listen, I know, we're sending in your whatever it is, your routine handpiece maintenance checks, whatever it happens to be, but here you go. Just as an aside, this is what's happening in the industry. Something to think about. And so that's really what this lead generation program is. They go to your website, and if they visit the Invisalign page, for example, they get an offer to sign up to download, to get a 3 email series that teaches them about Invisalign with a lean towards you. Thanks for signing up. We do a double opt-in, so it complies with all the canned spam laws. You want to make sure that you are, that you have an opt-out for them and that you have an address and standard things when you do any kind of email marketing. And so they opt in, then they, confirm that they're interested, and then they get an email and it says, thanks for your interest in Invisalign. Here's some basics about it. And the next one we're going to talk about, alternatives. So, okay, here's alternatives. Ortho, whatever it is, bands and brackets. And the next one we're going to talk about financial. Invisalign costs the same, it doesn't cost the same. Oh, we have a special offer. So you're teaching them about Invisalign and giving them generic information. That's true. I mean, I wrote all the emails. Generic information, and we can obviously customize them for you if you have an Invisalign, if you use 6 month smiles, or if you use something else, we'll certainly edit that for you. We don't want to put products in there that you're not servicing, you're not selling. But certainly then, you are teaching the people about Invisalign, but you are also kind of dropping hints that, hey, listen, when it comes to Invisalign, think about us. When I lecture at large lectures, I usually give Godiva chocolate as a thank you. And, maybe now once, every couple of weeks I get an email from Godiva, and I remind it, oh yeah, Godiva. And I don't buy anything, but it reminds me that the next time I need to buy a gift for somebody, for a lecture or, for a conference, oh, you know what? It's Godiva. So the next one is treatment news. That is newsletter marketing. Once you have, we tie it in with treatment content. Once you have these posts written, it makes sense to send it out to people who are on your newsletter, because obviously there are some people who visit your website once, become a patient, or however many times, and once you're a patient, there's no need to go there again. I mean, that makes sense. But we don't want to lose them if they're a patient, if they're not visiting your site regularly, which they probably aren't, or they might not be visiting your Facebook page. They had an exam and a crown. They want to get away from us. So why would they be checking in? But the idea is that you can send out a newsletter and say, hi, here's what's happening. Here are the posts. Here's what we wrote about Invisalign and about dentures and about whitening and about this. So you're getting kind of double value for that content, because you are the people who see that content, these Invisalign posts or these implant posts, via just visiting your site or via SEO, which is where we hope they'll see them, or on Facebook. Those people will see them that way. But the other people who haven't visited the site or visited the Facebook page for your business would hopefully open up a newsletter from you, really existing patients who you can remind them how up to date you are and how things are, and how, what you haven't been talking about in the office. So the pricing for these programs is very reasonable right now. It is heavily discounted. Right now it is $199 a month for 6 months, 6-month term for treatment content for these 12 original articles. And you can learn more about the Innovation Suite here, that link below. And treatment mail, that's our lead generation. One topic is $325 for 6 months in total, and 2 topics is $575 for 6 months total. And we offer treatment news a la carte with treatment content, because you actually have to have content for us to make a newsletter out of. But everyone should consider having a newsletter, even if we don't make it for you. But you should generate content and kind of keep in touch with your existing patients and people who sign up on your list, who will become patients hopefully in the future. That is everything. I thank you so much for your time. If you'd like to get in touch with me, please feel free to do so. And don't forget, next month is something new called Office Hours. So I have a time January 17th, I believe. And it's on the website, and we are going to basically have an open webinar where people can ask me questions and I will answer them. And I'm hoping that I know all the answers. And if I don't, I will find the answer for you. But it's an open forum, so you can pick my brain and hopefully get some useful information to answer questions that you have questions about, and get the answers. And that is free. So that's it, and thank you again for attending, and have a great evening. Bye.